Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Odin. I know, kind of weird. Y'all didn't expect it, did you? But, once again, this is a user or a watcher, a viewer, that's the word I was looking for, requested video. I'm sorry, my brain locked up. Y'all know the deal. But we're in the Odin, and most of you probably think that I hate the Odin because it's German, and you would be almost correct, but that's not true. I actually enjoy the Odin. Most of the time I take it out, I have a pretty solid time. I don't usually have too much trouble, but the problem is, when I'm trying to create a video on a very specific ship, I swear to God, the stars align to make me miserable. And so that is the case with the Odin. Every time I jump in this ship, I get countered by a Saipan, a Kaga, or a Pobeda. Why is this a bad thing? Because this thing has absolutely zero AA. Like, it has nothing. If you think getting murdered by a carrier is fun, then you'll enjoy being in a German battleship. If you don't find it fun and entertaining to be murdered by a carrier, then, yeah, jump in. But I personally enjoy the Odin when it comes down to a fight. Like, I like the Odin's guns. The guns are way more consistent in the Odin than they are in the Brandenburg. I tend to have a lot more better salvos with the Odin than I do in the Brandenburg. Even though they're both 305mm guns, the Odin just seems to have better guns. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys can let me know down in the comments below if you've played both of them. Now, we're going to take a shot over the island to see if we can't slap that Mogami, and I'm not sure exactly what happens with this salvo, but I think we actually end up missing all of the shots. I think he may have slowed down and that caused us to miss, but it is what it is. You can see he is going a little bit crazy here. He's already lost half his hit points and he's like, screw it, I'm going in! Meanwhile, my entire team is right there to murder him. But we're already starting to get targeted from across the map. And I honestly don't mind being in a gunfight with this ship. The ship is nasty. It's got sonar, it's got torpedoes, but more importantly, the torpedoes are at the back of the ship, so they tend to survive until you need them. It's a great position for your torpedoes. Plus, it has a pretty decent launch angle on those torpedoes. So I like the Odin. It also gets a spotter plane as well, so you can get even more accuracy out of your main guns. Now, when I run the Odin, I tend to take Porcupine off of my Henry Hyde build and go with the Aladad skill, which increases your penetration angles, which allows these guns to really get in there and stick when they hit things. Whereas a lot of German battleships, you know I've talked about it before, they have a tendency to struggle when it comes to being able to penetrate at any sort of angles. That's one of the biggest drawbacks. But look at this Saipan, man. First drop. I mean, my destroyer made it easy on him, but to the destroyer's credit, like, if he goes to try to move forward, he's just going to get yeeted by the two battleships because he is spotted. But the Saipan is going to do what Saipan does, which is just absolutely terrorize everything. As we saw in the competitive replays, like, Saipan is busted. Like, it just is. There is nothing, and I do mean nothing, that you can do about when a Saipan decides it wants your giblets, okay? Especially if you're essentially by yourself. Now look at this accuracy, man. That is an angled Tirpitz. We aim high, 15,000 damage with 305mm guns. That is why I like the Odin. Alright, unlike most German battleships, the Odin has the ability to absolutely punish your broadside. Now, yes, some of the others can too, but the consistency isn't there for a lot of the others. Whereas with the Odin, as you can see, I mean, this guy turns in and we get another 10,000 damage essentially off of him as he turns in because we just shoot the superstructure. Now, because of the fact that the Tirpitz was here and the carrier is here and the Frederick Gross is here, I have to be a little bit more, I don't know, what's the word? Passive, I guess would be the word. But we're just going to go ahead and keep farming those superstructures. The Germans do have gigantic superstructures. Unfortunately, this is the one where all of my shells decide to dodge. But it's okay. It's okay. We're already at 42,000 damage. And we're doing okay. Now, our destroyer is going to force the Frederick de Grosse to turn. Unfortunately, he is in range to be spotted by the Frederick de Grosse's second, or whatchamacallit, Sonar. Good lord, man. My brain is not working tonight. But we absolutely punish the Frederick de Grossa again for showing us this much broadside. And he is going to end up taking a torpedo here, which is probably a permaflood. But before he gets behind the island, we get one more shot. Is it going to reach? A few of them hit. But, yeah, we ended up getting 4 hits for like 8,000 again. So, solid. We can't really complain. Maybe it was 4,000. I didn't pay attention. It was 4 full pins. But Tirpitz is like, I don't understand why my teammate just threw all of his hit points away, so let me go ahead and throw all mine away as well. So while he's being so generous, we're going to go ahead and take what we can from him. He started to move forward. Again, propulsion mod battleship players, they drive you crazy initially with one salvo, but after the one salvo that they tend to get away with, you know what they're going to do. So from then on, it's just easy pickings, right? Like, propulsion mod is a great tool in certain situations, but there are so many people that rely on propulsion mod and do stupid crap. And it really only works once, right? Like, if you're a decent player, you only get fooled one time by the time somebody's like, oh, I'm in reverse. Oh, look, I can go forward now. It only works once, right? Or it should only work once. But we come around the corner, we catch the Tirpitz getting ready to over-angle. He actually stops himself, so well done to him, getting himself from getting fully broadside. But we do slap him for 8,000, and he returns fire for a measly 4. He gets pretty fortunate there to get a full pin with 1 shell on my superstructure. Like, let's be honest. I mean, we are a German battleship as well, but it's just funny to me. Now, one of the biggest things that people get wrong with German battleships that have torpedoes is they simply launch the torps too early. This Tirpitz is a prime example of this. You can tell when people launch their torps. They're dumb, okay? People are just not smart. And I'm not saying that this person is dumb, okay? I'm just saying that people, when they have torpedoes, generally are dumb, okay? They will always launch the torps as soon as they can. And what happens is you just dodge them like we did here. Like, it's not difficult to dodge. Now, what happens? He doesn't have any more torpedoes. Guess who does? Me. Guess who is not afraid to use those torpedoes because there is absolutely nothing this man can do about it. And then we get 9 full penetrations on his broadside just to, you know, rub it in a little bit, and we finish him off with our torpedo. And that's 97,000 damage. But notice there's still, you know, our entire team has raffle stomped them, right? But unfortunately, I'm all alone. There's nobody here beside me except the enemy carrier, which we already know is a Saipan. So let me guess how this is going to turn out, folks. It's a carrier versus a German battleship, and there is nobody around to support it. I wonder how this will work out for me. Anybody want to take a guess? Yeah, not well is the answer if you're looking. Don't worry though, we've shot down 2 whole planes at this point. We're really showcasing the strength of these German battleships against planes. Historically accurate. Actually, we've shot down 2 more planes than the Bismarck did, so clearly Odin's superior. But either way, we're in trouble, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're perma-doubled, and he's coming back with some torpedoes, and the torpedoes of the Saipan are absolutely busted as well. There's no weakness to a Saipan. That's the problem. It absolutely can shred you with HE bombs. It can destroy you with torpedoes. Like, there is no downside to it. And I've got great ability to change course, and we are going to get another damage con off, but unfortunately, we're just not shooting any planes down. So he's just going to swing around and come back again, because that's what happens. And notice the destroyer that spawned with me and the battleship that was there, they still haven't done anything over there. They kind of like ran in, ran away, and have stayed away, and this carrier's just absolutely having his way with me. And yeah. Yep, we had fun. That was the main thing, right? This has been my problem with jumping in the Odin. I can have absolutely crazy games in the Odin, but while I'm recording to try to get those crazy games, I never actually got a single game that didn't involve a carrier while I was trying to record for the Odin. And every one of the carriers that I ran into was either Saipan, Kaga, or Pobeda. If you don't know why that's a bad thing, I'll tell you. Saipan, because it's the most busted carrier in the game, bar none, not even close. It just is. Tier for tier, it is the most disgusting carrier in the game. Needs nerfed. We can all agree, I think, that it's busted. Alright? Kaga, you can't deplane the thing, and those torpedoes hit like freaking Mack trucks. Okay? And it drops 4 of them as well. Then on top of that, you got the Pobeda, who, even if you have good AA, can drop the torps from outside of the range, not to mention the skip bombs, but can drop the torps from outside of your AA range, and so it always gets away a full spread of torpedoes every time it drops you. And if the carrier player knows what he's doing, he can absolutely take 1/3 of your health every time he drops you. And that's not including the skip bombs that are going to come in after it inevitably gets the airdrop torpedo flood. Then, of course, it's going to come in and hit you with the permafires after that. But the Saipan claims another one, and this time against somebody who actually has AA in the Flounder. But it's still, I mean, it's one carrier versus our entire team. There's less than 5 minutes to go. We have a 400-point lead. Surely this carrier player is not going to carry the game, right? They don't call them carriers for nothing. But in this situation, yeah, it's not gonna be up to him to decide who wins and loses, thank goodness. But it is frustrating, man, when you're in a German battleship. There is absolutely nothing you can do. At least with an American battleship, you have the AA to at least shoot down a few planes, make you feel a little bit better. But yeah, in this match, it wouldn't have mattered because that Saipan was going to have his way with us regardless. Even if we had all the AA in the world, it just would have meant that we shot down more than 2 planes. That man dropped us how many times in this match? We shot down a total of 2 planes. I literally would have been better off going out on the deck and firing a BB gun at the planes, I think. But yeah, it is what it is. We end up with 97,000 damage. 4th on the team for what it is. And yeah, their Saipan, top of their leaderboard. Shocker. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you enjoy the Odin? I personally, if it wasn't for carriers, would probably play the Odin more. But when you get countered by a carrier, you're just going to have a bad day. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.